ये सारी कविताएं मैं आज आपको सुना रहा हूँ। जब मैं 2017 में कॉलेज छोड़ के, इंजीनियरिंग छोड़ के सोचा था कि बॉम्बे आके पोइट्री करेंगे, तो वो कुछ होते हैं ना, वो चिराग जो अंधेरे में हर जगह रोशन हो रहे थे। हमारी जो अगली पोएट हैं, स्पोकन वर्ड आर्टिस्ट हैं, मैं पहली बार कहीं परफॉर्म किया था, तो उनके कमला मिल्स के कंपाउंड में उन्होंने एक पोइट्री करा था, वहाँ पे हमने परफॉर्म किया था। पहली बार उनसे मिले थे। इतनी सौम्यता से वो विद्रोह की इतनी प्यारी कविताएं पढ़ जाती हैं। मतलब होता है ना कि किसी बड़े शायर का शेर है कि कहने का सलीका हो, उसका मतलब बता रहा हूँ कि कहने का सलीका हो तो हर बात सुनी जाती है। उन्होंने इतने प्यारे अंदाज से बगावत की, रिवॉल्यूशन की कविताएं पढ़ी हैं कि मतलब आप सुनेंगे तो कायल हो जाएंगे। हम तालियां उठाइए, बुलाते हैं अपनी अगली पोएट शायरा अंकिता जी के लिए। जोरदार तालियां उठाइए अंकिता जी।
Thank you, Shobham, for that beautiful introduction. It's so good to be here because I have in the audience a lot of poets like Shobham who've been a part of the poetry community and doing poetry for so many years. And it's great to be performing in this environment. I have 5-6 poems for you. The emotional graph of my set will go from here to here. It's going to be a journey, and I hope you're going to be with me. I'm a Bombay girl, born and brought up here, but the first time that I ever went to Delhi was very interesting because I went with a boy who was trying to impress me. So he'd planned the entire trip in a way that we went to all these interesting places in Delhi. So this one's for everyone who's come here from Delhi, everyone who's been to the city and fallen in love with it. It's called A Fair Warning. You are Daryaganj, in camaraderie with Wilde and Manto, Kafka and Premchand. You are Ghalib's final wager at Ballimara, which he has so since won each time Urdu slips into verses of another tongue. You, Agrasen's Bauli burning bare and empty, quenching its thirst of conversations of lovers it knows will leave. You, the plebeian Indian coffee house atop the princely expanse of Connaught Place that makes delectable omelette toast and debates on politics. You are the pashmina and the momos of Paharganj's Firangi Gali, overpriced and untrue to their promise, yet warm with familiarity. You are the Delhi of weekend vanishing acts from wintry literature festivals and summer trainings, the Delhi I have been warned I won't love as much if I started to live in it. The next piece is a short poem that I wrote. When you're in a relationship for a long while, you get creative with how you love and how you apologize. So this is called Apology Breakfast. One morning, you took me out to a cafe, ordered scrambled eggs on toast with coffee, said the fight last night was stupid, and here on, breakfasts will be your apology. Since then, all your falls have a flavor. Sweet, savory, tangy, and nothing tops the smoky notes of your bacon-wrapped sorry. Small problem, and you're to blame. There is a fault in your strategy. I have developed a taste for your mistakes, a growing hunger for an apology. This is when we start dipping. I'm born and brought up in Bombay, but I'm a native of Nepal. My family is from Nepal. And I have very limited cultural exposure to it, but As a young girl, every time I visited my village, I got to know that there is a practice where menstruating women are they have to stay in a separate room, oftentimes a separate unit altogether outside of the house that is made for it, which was very alien to me. So this poem's about the cycles the chains that women break from generation to generation. It's dedicated to my mother. It's called Exile. My mother grew up 5 days a month confined to a mud house. Here the first beam of the morning light cut bodies into halves, turned their breaths into its thick, greasy air. Here days smelt like soap but could not clean their stained dignity. The nights would bring the hiss of a snake or the measured steps of a ghost. In between, the sounds of their deep breaths and short sighs morphed into acceptance. All the girls in the neighborhood were exiled here. When the womb undressed itself of motherhood, even when their bodies were teaching them rebellion, the girls grew into women consumed by what this room taught them. My mother learned suffocation and shame together. When she left the mud house, she sprinted far from its narrow walls, from its holy strangulation, to create a home for me where menstruating was as normal as coming home an hour past midnight. From where every mountain or river could be crossed alone, here loving someone meant giving all in. So this time, when my Nana visited us from Nepal, told her as a passing remark, pointing to me, if she marries outside our community, I will never step foot in this house. My mother laughed, then broke to him that he must prepare for his exile. It's important, I think, when I read a poem like this and talk about the things that we do as women for each other and for ourselves. It is not easy being a girl. It is full of complexities and paradoxes, and so this following poem is a portrait of what girlhood has been for me, and I'm sure has been for a lot of women in this room. It's called Girlhood is being two things at a time. I can make myself at home anywhere in the world, but I will check the exit points first. My confidence is an armor for the rooms I have to pierce with my voice. I can never write the poem, and I took the road less traveled without also saying, and I shared my location with a friend. There are days I do not step out of my house, and there are days I push my body with the rigor of a professional bodybuilder. I want to give so much of myself to the world, but I don't trust it to keep me whole, to not nibble at my arms. Girlhood is a paradox. I want it all, but I'm so tired of the chase. Every time I come close to feeling content, I'm jolted into action because I've seen content women being written off. Girlhood is strange. It's like I'm always two people at once. One part of me is roaring and raging and was born yesterday. The other part of me is not here. It's walking through time like a ghost, watching itself being watched. Girlhood is a Mongolian folk singer, creating two sounds at the same time from her throat. Some days you can hear courage, other days caution. Only the girls know it's always both. This is a short piece that I want to read about change. The only kind of change that matters is the one that doesn't announce itself. like the way brown spots appear on a leaf, the way a river bends a little by every stone, the way parents grow old, the way afternoons collapse into photographs with high exposure, the way doubt swells into fear, grief sinks into the body, the way a whole person turns into a memory, the way purple bruises appear where you don't remember hurting. The only kind of change that matters is the one that happens slowly in all the places we're not looking. This last piece is a reflection on what sadness has done to me in various points of my life, and that it has its own importance in our lives. So here it goes. When we're sad, we move through the universe at great speed. Years ago, I fell in love with a boy who would sing Rag Jaunpuri to me on the phone at midnight. When we broke up, I was a shattered 19-year-old desperate to learn all of that music. I signed up for a music class. I wrote poems. I read Rumi, Plath, Amrita Preetham. I moved through my city with a verse on my sleeve for strangers whose hearts had broken. I learned Yaman, Bihag, Bhairavi, and everything he had never sung to me. When running away, we're always running towards something. I thought I was a sad girl carrying all the sadness with me, but I was leaping, shifting, plunging through the universe at great speed. I had found music, poetry, community. Silly me, I wasn't carrying the sadness. The sadness was carrying me. I had just given it a direction. It was its job to move me. Thank you. That is me, Ankita. Thank you for being a lovely audience.